All right, partner. You know what time it is.
Yes, it's time for the Rotary Club of St. Albert morning Zoom meeting number 1496, February 26, 2021. I am your host president, Mark Dixon, and I recognize executive members present, board members present, fellow Rotarians, and many guests, some very special. So let's start with Please Rise for O Canada. Wonderful. Thank you so much. And our land acknowledgement, we respectfully acknowledge that we are on Treaty 6 territory, traditional lands of First Nations and Métis peoples. As treaty people, Indigenous and non-Indigenous, we share the responsibility for stewardship of this beautiful land. Inspirational moment, Mr. John Carl, if you would mind, please.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I got the peanut gallery chattering in my ear here. So I got to say, I really struggled with the inspirational moment this morning. There's just been so much COVID burnout, I guess is the right word, that it's hard to find a lot of positivity out there. So yeah, I struggled with putting this together last night. And what I came up with Kathy's help was actually a recognition that we should be inspired by this Friday morning meeting. There are so many people that are feeling isolated, that are alone, that haven't seen people in months, that don't have jobs, that get their social interaction by going to their job or going to their school in university, and they're completely and utterly and totally alone. Their social engagement is only Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. And yet here we are, we have the opportunity on Friday morning to come and gather with a group of fantastic people that are focused on creating a better, stronger community, not only for themselves, but for those people who are suffering from their isolation. And I think my inspirational moment this morning is not only that am I inspired by what this club continues to strive for and what we hope and plan to achieve, but the fact that we continue to do that despite the pandemic, despite the challenges, and despite the negativity out there. So to quote Rotary, let's be the inspiration. That's what I have this morning.
Nicely said, John. Eloquent as always. Introduction of guests. And we have a number of guests. So Ash, how about we start with you?
Thank you, President Mark. I'll start out with Teacher of the Month, and I don't see Crimson, so I'll leave her out. But I see Peter Benton. He's the principal of Miro Martin School. And our Teacher of the Month, I see in the bottom there, Joe Grace. Welcome, guys. And I also have a guest, and I think she's going to be inducted today. And her name is Crystal Gossman.
Thank you, Ash. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Other guests, please.
Mark, we have our presenter today, Layna Haley.
Welcome, Layna. Thank you, Dario.
And Rebecca's popping in to say hello.
Hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
Wonderful that you could join us this morning.
My husband Don is with us this morning.
Welcome, Dawn. Remember what we talked about.
Yes.
President Mark, I'd like to introduce and welcome Liam Connolly from Connolly Law here in St. Albert, and also on the Athabasca University faculty.
Wonderful. Welcome, Liam. And I see that Peter Fenton is here this morning. Welcome, Peter. Anybody that we missed?
I see Vicky.
There's Vicky. Hey, Vicky. Nice
And
to join us.
let's not forget Natalia.
And Natalia. Well, you know what that means, right? Let's welcome them with the welcome song.
Welcome to Rotary, glad you are here. Come shake our hands and share a friendly cheer. Whether from near or whether from far, we're glad you're here. We hope that you will like our little song, because we're proud of St. Albert, and you'll agree our club enjoys some great camaraderie. So we do what we can to help with the needs of our community, with our friends at Rotary. With our friends at Rotary.
Oh, brings a tear. So let's go straight into Teacher of the Month. Ash, could you do the introductions, please?
Okay, Mark. President Mark, it's my pleasure to introduce the principal of Miro Martin School, Peter Fenton, and Peter will introduce our Teacher of the Month. It's all yours, Peter.
Thank you very much. We are used to a Google Meets platform, so hopefully everybody can hear me and I've done this right. It's all good. Perfect. I'm seeing a thumbs up. Good. You know what? Before I introduce our teacher, Joel Grice, I just want to acknowledge the Rotarians for your continued support in this teacher recognition. It's really important. And, you know, since the Alberta government has ended the Teacher of Excellence Award, this is one of the few ways that we get to highlight the real, you know, difference makers and the people that are exemplary in our schools. So thank you for continuing it and for continuing it, you know, in this kind of virtual environment. You know, we all know that things it's sometimes easier just to say, you know what, we can't do this right now. And so I applaud you for finding a way to continue doing it despite a different kind of a way about it. So with that, yes, I would like to, acknowledge Joel Grice. And 15 years before I worked with Joel Grice, I worked with another Grice teacher in the district, and that was his mom, Janelle Grice. I suspect she's probably been recognized by the Rotarians and every other teacher award there is. She's a truly outstanding teacher. And I worked with her for 10 years. She taught my own son in grade 2. And so when I found out that I was going to be coming to Muriel Martin to be the principal, I knew that Joel was a teacher here. And so I was, immediately excited about the prospect of teaching with another Grice, and also a little bit nervous that, it was going to be really hard for him to kind of live up to the expectations that had been set from his mom. So it's been a year and a half now, and I can, tell you that he has far exceeded any expectations that I, had hoped for him in terms of what he would be like as a teacher. One of the first things I noticed about Joel when I came to Muriel Martin, and it sounds silly, but it's the way he moves through the building. And it's a little sort of observation that I've made along the years of being an administrator, is that when you want to find out who your best people are in the building, you watch how they travel through the hallways. And there's a certain levity and energy that our very best people move around in. And it's not because they're rushed because they came late that day or, you know, forgot to make their photocopies and they're rushing back to their classroom. It's just an energy that they have because they're excited to get to their class and to get to their students and to have that impact. And Joel, I have never once watched him walk through the hallways. He's got this kind of hop, skip, jump thing that he does, and he sort of flies through the building. If he's 2 steps ahead of you, there's no chance of keeping up. And it really it kind of just captures the essence of the energy and the passion that he brings to his teaching. I spend lots of time in his classroom. Anytime I want a little sort of boost, anytime I want to, you know, go and see some exemplary teaching, I make my way down to his room. Always see evidence of a teacher who has crafted lessons that are engaging for the students, that are meaningful. He's what I'd call a really modern teacher. He's very up to date in terms of his literacy practice and his numeracy practice. He incorporates technology, but he does it in a really meaningful way. It's not just, you know, use a computer for the sake of using a computer. As a teacher, he's immensely popular with his students and with the parents of his students as a person who is caring and compassionate and dedicated. He's just, you know, truly an outstanding teacher. He's also a very, very strong staff member, and that can't be overlooked. And I sometimes actually feel badly because we lean on Joel so heavily to do things around the school that need to be done. And he's always willing. He's always the first guy to have his hand up to volunteer, never wants anything in return. He will accept bourbon as bribery if offered, but it's not what he's doing it for. He finds every way to chip in and help out. You know, last year we had Glenn Mack, who again probably has received this award and is a legend in the St. Albert community as a phys ed teacher, who had left Muriel Martin. And so we were all of a sudden looking for a person to coach our running room games team. And there's a strong legacy in the community here for being a school that has you know, fantastic results. So of course, Joel Grice is the guy that steps up and takes over the team. And you know, I agreed to go and help. And so just watching him coach those kids and seeing the dignity and the drive that he, you know, invokes in that kind of environment with children as well. It's hard for some of these kids. It's the first time they've been in a competitive athletic endeavor. It's the first time that not everybody makes the team. It's the first time that, you know, decisions have to be made before you know, races. And again, just watching how Joel kind of navigated those conversations with those kids, kept it fun, but also kept it competitive. Again, just really, truly a great coach. And I think so often the best teachers are coaches at heart. They understand that. So last thing I'd say about Joel is that he just has these real leadership tendencies too. And you know, last year we began the year in a place where we were looking at new curriculum implementation, and of course Joel's the guy, right, that is our school rep on that committee. And then watching how he pulls along his grade level cohort, watching how he's navigated the you know, the protocols around COVID this year and the movement from in-school learning to at-home learning and back to in-school learning, you know, being able to, you know, identify in his own practice the ways that he had to make changes and do things differently, but still effectively. And the way he has been one of the people in the building that kind of like the message earlier, has not wallowed in the misery of COVID, but is instead, you know, opted to stay bright and stay focused and you know, be a real positive place for the kids, knowing that most of them are coming from a disrupted life right now. He hasn't let morale slide. He's stayed you know, just really steadfast in the whole experience of it, and I'm so deeply appreciative of that. So he's an incredible teacher, an incredible staff member, a really, really strong leader, and I know that Joel's going to be back here in front of the Rotarians at some point as a principal one day and making the same recognition for another teacher in his school. So thank you, Joel, and thank you, Rotary Club, again for maintaining this opportunity for us to celebrate really excellent teachers. And last thing, sorry, Joel, just so you understand, don't be just, deceived by the title. I know it's the Teacher of the Month, but we don't hand out 10 of these a year. As a principal, we get to recognize one person about every 3 years or so. I've only had the opportunity to do this twice, so it is a real recognition of somebody who's truly special, and so thank you again.
Thank you, Peter. Joel, any thoughts from you?
No, I just feel I'm very lucky to be at Muriel Martin and under the leadership of Peter, especially during this, the last 2 years have been really interesting with, COVID and everything. And I do appreciate Peter's leadership in guiding us to make sure that, our teaching practice is still the best that it can be under the circumstances that we're placed under. And so I know he holds all of his staff to high standards, and with the intent that it makes us better teachers. And he promotes collaboration with our students and with our Great Alike team. And so those are the types of things that I certainly look for. And I know it's made me a better teacher as a result of it. And he encourages people to seek out things that they're passionate about and bring that into the classroom. And no, I just feel really lucky to be at Muriel Martin. I was a student at Muriel Martin when it first opened, so that's a nice adage that I get to be the teaching at the school that I went to and spent a lot of time as a student, and back then knew that it was a place where great teachers went. And so I just feel really lucky to be a teacher there, and hope to be there for many more years to come.
Thank you, Joel. And with that, I give you Mr. Doug Webster.
Good morning, boys and girls. Good morning, Joel, Peter. Great to see you guys. Joel, I don't know why, but I thought your name was Greasy, not Bryce. And it took me a little while to get used to that. But my good friend Sharon in your front office corrected me when I was there. So now I know how to say your name properly. It's real exciting when we get to do the Teacher of the Month. And it's interesting that Peter had said that it's once every 3 years that really a school gets a chance to do it. So this is a very special award that we as the Rotary Club of St. Albert, Staples in St. Albert, and of course the St. Albert Gazette that sponsors it with us are allowed to bestow on somebody. And I love listening to the principals discuss speech on the teachers, because there's always that reoccurring thing. And it really kind of hit me when they talk about moving through the hallways and stuff. Like, you're always on something, you got that mission, you got something going. And then, the words popular, compassionate, excited, engaged in meaningful leadership and teaching is all parts of that. And, when I think about leadership and how people interact with our schools, I think about a purpose and what a person's purpose is. And when I hear about you, Joel, it's very clear to me that you understand your purpose. And your purpose really, to me, from what I read into it, was giving back to the children and making St. Albert a better place for kids and for the community. And I want to really congratulate you on that, because that is a special thing. And we are lucky in St. Albert to have so many teachers that do that and do that for our community and do it for our kids. And I'm just never not surprised, but I'm always inspired by what I see in the education community. So congratulations for that. Now, Peter, you do have a bag there, I believe. You should have you got a handy with you? Can you hear me, Peter? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, Doug, I got it. Yeah, I'm here. I got it.
Hey, so why don't you grab that bag? Show us that lovely plaque that you have that celebrates your award today.
Oh, Peter's got it.
I do.
Oh, Peter.
Oh, I have it. Yeah.
Well, that's great. Way to go, Peter. Okay, so there's that lovely plaque. As all the Rotarians know, that's high quality product produced at Staples. I'm happy to see that elementary was spelled properly this week. So that's good. Now, do you have his bag of goodies there too, or?
I do.
Okay, well, Joel, you're in for a surprise. We got some great stuff in here. So why don't you pull something out of that bag that is not in a white envelope? So what we got all kinds of swag there for you, Peter. Oh, look at that. That's a apple for the teacher. You can make little notes about your favorite office supply retailer in St. Albert. You know, put them on your board. What do you got there? Oh, look at that hand sanitizer. You know, can you ever have too much hand sanitizer? I really doubt it. What else you got there? Oh, we got some, whiteboard markers. Again, a Staples branded product, which is as good as or better than the national brands. We got some notebooks there. I believe that is the Teacher of the Month notebook. Now, Peter, reach in there. There's a white envelope there that I want you to pull out now. Normally we do a drum roll at our meetings, but why don't you crack that bad boy open and tell us what's inside. The suspense is amazing, isn't it? It's just, oh, look at that. That's a Staples gift card for $100 for you to spend. I know, isn't that crazy? Wow. So hopefully when you come down to spend that bad boy, I'll get a chance to meet you in person. That would be just fantastic. There's a bunch of other goodies and swag in there for you. So Joel and Peter, congratulations on the award from your friends, of course, at the Rotary Club of St. Albert. Staples and the St. Albert Gazette, who will be featuring you, I believe, next week on for your Teacher of the Month award. So congratulations. Big hand, ladies and gentlemen, our February Teacher of the Month, Joel Grice.
Woo-hoo. Woo. Thank you, Doug. Congratulations, Joel.
Thank you, everyone.
Just so you can see that certificate up close. Congratulations. So we're going to go straight into our guest speaker now. We're going to do a presentation after the guest speaker. So Daria, if you could do the introductions, please.
Thank you, Mark. So, hey, Layna is on a mission to help build stronger communities, one single mother at a time. She's a founder and executive director of Kaleo Collective, a St. Albert-based charity that serves and equips single moms to help them make positive changes in their lives and, in turn, the lives of their children. As a very young single mom, Layna experienced similar challenges and knows the challenges women face in their single parenting journey. In response to this need, Layna began Kaleo Collective to give women practical ways to make their lives better and easier and their families happier. Through Kaleo, a community of women have come together to raise one another up. It is through this empowered community that women draw on the strength of one another. And here's a quote from Layna. I believe if you start with one woman, you create a ripple effect that raises up families, communities, and the entire world. Welcome, Layna.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I remember everything about the moment that my life changed forever. I remember the smell of the French fries that were wafting down the hall of my high school. I remember the bricks that scraped my back as I slid down the wall. I remember the weight of the payphone in my hand and just hearing the words that no 16-year-old ever wants to hear. You're pregnant. I was in grade 11. I was an honor student. I had my whole future ahead of me. But in that moment, it just felt like the world was falling out from underneath of me. Now, thankfully, I had a few key people, including 2 unlikely teenage roommates, that helped me put my feet back on firm ground so that I could be the mom that my son, Austin, needed me to be. I started Kaleo Collective as a way to help other single moms sort of put that world back underneath them when it was falling out. And we've been serving single moms since 2019, and we have helped over 500 women and children. Now, I think anybody who's been a mom could agree with me that being a mom is hard work. But being a single mom is harder. They're grieving the loss of a relationship breakdown, Sometimes they're even grieving the loss of the death of a spouse. We work with many young widows. There's the loss of friendship, there's the loss of family, there's financial strain, and that doesn't even begin to mention the fear that they have about how this is impacting their children and the shame that they feel about the responsibility for being a part of their children's suffering. And COVID, as we've talked about, has been really hard for everybody, but single moms have been hit particularly hard during this challenging time. When the pandemic set in, they were without any kind of childcare. They were doing, they were being the role of a teacher, and they were trying to hold down jobs and not lose their job as they're trying to juggle both of those things in a daytime. And then at night, the whole thing starts all over again with bath and bed and dinner and all of those extra jobs. They were frustrated. The mental health challenges, are just unspeakable. And when they come to us, these moms are exhausted, they're overwhelmed, and they're not even really sure how to begin picking up the pieces of their own life. And thankfully, that's where Kaleo comes in, because we build and strengthen communities in St. Albert and in the greater Edmonton area. And we do that one family at a time. And we do that by equipping and enabling single moms with the tools that they need to help break those cycles of poverty for themselves. We really think that empowering the mother is so important. And unlike other support services, we actually offer support for women. It's a very inclusive environment. We help women that are like young moms, like I was, and also women who are parenting young teens or early adults. And like I said, we also help a growing and an increasing number of young widows. So what we do is we give them access to tools and systems and approaches that basically help them to thrive and to change the entire trajectory of their family. So for us, we're looking at generational change. We're looking at creating that ripple effect that goes out into our communities in meaningful and really big ways. And maybe the very most important thing that we do is we bring women into this supportive community. I mean, as Rotarians, you guys know the importance of healthy community, just like what John was speaking about this morning, having those interpersonal connections. And, what we are finding is that when the women come into our group, it's kind of like if you were a Rotarian going to like another community. You step into a meeting and you're like, even if you don't know a single person, if you don't know anything about their life, you feel this sense of like belonging and camaraderie, because the one thing that you do know is that you all share a passion for being a Rotarian and for helping your community. So that's really kind of the very centerpiece of what we do. We also help reduce loneliness for these moms because our programming runs in the evening, which is something that's unlike most other agencies. So we work around the schedule of a single mom. So most of them have to work and are busy during the daytime, but their evenings are really lonely because when their kids go to bed, they have this sense that they shouldn't be messaging their friends who are married because they're quite respectful of family time. So they're by themselves. So our programming runs in the evening time to help give them that belonging, give them that community, as well as reduce that loneliness. And we are seeing some amazing results from our programs. I have a little slideshow that I'm going to show you at the very end because I'm not the greatest with technology sometimes. And so I figured that going back and forth between a slideshow might be more distracting than just showing it to you at the very end. So you can see we've got a cute little infographic about this, but I'll give you kind of the quick highlights. So nearly 100% of the women that come through our programs show an increase in self-esteem, which, as you can imagine, is incredible. 83% have accessed community services that they didn't know about. And 67% say that they're doing a better job of managing their household finances, which again, you can see what the implications of that could be, particularly when we're hoping that what they're going to do is have these solid practices for themselves and then teach those solid practices to their children. Now, on the slideshow that I'll show you, I've got some pictures of the moms that have all been cleared by them and little testimonials from them, but I wanted to share one that's not on there with you right now. So one of our clients is a single mom. She's got 3 children, 2 of whom have special needs or suffer with depression or anxiety. She left an abusive marriage and is not from Canada. So she's got absolutely no family here. She has no support from the father of any kind, including financial. And, you know, she literally is completely all by herself to try and manage this situation. She has accessed many community resources, and she showed up to class one day when we were able to meet in person with 3 little pages that she had just written about how much she loved the program and how meaningful it was for her. So I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but here's just a little snippet. This course is changing my life. I've taken lots of programs and none are like this one. Thank you for helping me find my way. I finally feel like I have found a home here with these women. So that just gives you a little idea of how meaningful that community connection is that we're helping to create. And, you know, one of the biggest things that we do is we offer these women hope that their situation is not always going to feel like this. Hope that their children's lives are going to be different and are going to have this massive dreams that come together and this hopeful future that sometimes in the midst of the darkness, they can't necessarily feel. We also offer them healing. So we have a program with the Grief and Trauma Healing Center in Edmonton, and it is a group of psychologists that specialize in dealing with trauma and with grief. And so as I shared, you know, we're working with some widows, and so that's really, really important. But also when children or anybody is going through the breakdown in a relationship or a marriage, there is that grief that still needs to be processed. So through that partnership, we actually help the women process their own grief and move ahead in a positive and healthy way. And we teach them how to do the same thing for their children. So we run a program called Helping Children Cope with Grief and Loss. We also give them education. So we have an 8-week single mom resource course. We tackle really practical life skills there. We do like budgeting, and we do making memories with your children through art. We teach them how to journal for self-care, how to do time management and meal planning. So some really basic life skills that for some of them, they have never done before. So we really work hard to equip them there. We also provide them with leadership opportunities. So we believe that every woman has something to teach somebody, and every woman has something to learn from somebody in our community. So we run a single mom support group every week. And in fact, oftentimes it is led or taught by our moms in our community. So next week we have a lady who started doing meditations on an app to earn a little bit of extra income for her family. So she's going to come and tell the women in our support group and teach them about how she did that. And that's really inspiring, that peer-to-peer connection, just so vitally important. We also are hoping to move very soon into the area of job training. So our big dream for Kaleo is to create this like premier facility here in St. Albert that would offer, that would have a social enterprise where single moms could come in and learn job skills. And we're really, really excited about it because we see such an opportunity to work with seniors here in our community. And think about how amazing that would be, that multi-generational connection and learning and transferring of knowledge that could take place between a single mom and her children and some of the seniors in our community. It just like lights us on fire thinking about how we can help so many people. Think of the impact of that. And in this facility, so we have a job hub that would run as a social enterprise, helping seniors, but also we would love to have on-site childcare and a maternity home. So where young women could come in when they were pregnant and they could get the help from the Grief and Trauma Healing Center on healing from some of their past pains and get themselves into a really solid position for when their baby comes. And we would teach them how to bond with the baby, how to care for the baby, essentially cutting off a trauma cycle completely with that child. And the mom could then come in and work in that job hub that we would have. So that's our really big dream. That's the goal that we're working on next, is to help women get those training, that on-site practical hands-on training, so that they can leap off into careers that they love, that would help sustain their families. Because we really are looking at that sustainable generational change. And you know, just like we talked about when Daria was introducing me, I really do believe that that's how we change our communities, is that we do it one single mom at a time. Because, you know, there's this analogy that when you raise the water level, all the boats rise. And I believe in that so passionately, that when you help a single mom, she helps her children, and her children go out into the community in a different way. It changes their entire family tree. And so, yes, you can tell I'm very, very passionate about this work. We know that when a single mom is not supported, it is her children that suffer most. But when she has that support, it changes families and it changes our community for the better. Now, you might not know this, but Kaleo is a Greek word and it means to invite. And that's what we're doing. We are inviting single moms into community, into that hopeful future, into learning those new skills. But we are also inviting you to be a part of the circle of supporters that wrap your arms around these women who are trying to change their life and cheer them on. And, you know, there's something about having somebody in your corner that says, I believe in you and that you can do this. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, is that, you know, I know that as Rotarians, you are so passionate about helping your community. And I love that. I love your passion and your commitment. And I see it reflected in our community here. And so, you know, there's always the questions about how can we help? How can we help? So I want to give you some ideas about how you could help today. So obviously, no charity can run without donations. So we would love if you would donate. You can also tell people about us. We run a very small operation in that I'm the only employee of the organization, and I have one other woman who works 10 hours a week with me. So I literally wear every single hat. So the great news about running with such a lean staff is that almost all of the money that we collect goes right back into helping these women and into our programs. So we don't spend a lot of money on advertising, if any. So if you could share with single moms that you know that we exist so that we can help them. If you're on social media and you want to like our Facebook or our Instagram, we're at Kaleo Collective on all the platforms. You can do that. Tell people that own businesses. You can also adopt a mom through our website. So our programs range between $100 for the single mom resource course. That's the 8-week one. But then when we start working with psychologists, of course, the program costs go up. So our Helping Children Cope with Loss or our Grief Recovery program, those ones are $400 to put a woman through that program. So you could adopt a mom to help her participate. We also run 2 events that we believe are completely unique to us, because as we get ready to run events, oftentimes we'll just hit Google and see what other people are doing, if there's any information or wisdom that we can glean from what other organizations are doing. And we have yet to be able to find anything on the entire internet that is like these 2 events that we run. So on Mother's Day, we run Love You Mama, and at Christmas time, we run Little Santas. And what those events are, is they're an opportunity for children to get a gift for their mom, so that they have something to give her on Mother's Day and something to give her on Christmas morning. And there is just no words to describe the beauty in this event. Moms cry, kids leave beaming, they get to go and shop in the little store. We provide them with a meal, because of course during COVID, we cannot gather together, which is what we would typically do. It'd typically be a fun event for everybody. But during COVID, we send them home with a meal so that mom doesn't have to cook. And then we provide the kid with an opportunity to come and shop in our little COVID-friendly store. And we send them home with an activity to do together so that there's that bonding and that attachment that's so vitally important. So you could buy a toy or not a toy actually, because it's not the gift for the kid, it's a gift for the mom. So it's a gift for a mom, a new gift that you think a child might love to give to their mom. So we get lots of like bath and body products and little ornaments, things like that. And lastly, we have a fundraiser coming up in April. And I know that you guys know Danny Hooper because I've heard that he has helped you with some of your fundraising activities. So Danny Hooper is going to come and he's going to host an event for us. It's a virtual event on April 17th. It will be 1 hour because we recognize that staying on a screen for a long time is a pain. So we have jam-packed 1 hour full with incredible entertainment. Louis Lavoie will be painting live as well as Giselle Denis. So two very different artists, and watching two pieces of art come to life is really, really cool. And we've also got Ariana Whitlow, who if you've attended the Singing Christmas Tree, you've probably heard her, an incredible soloist. So she will be performing as well that night. And you will also get a really great little charcuterie delivery to your home. And I know that a couple of you are coming to this event. We are so honored to have your Lynn King, who's also our Lynn King. She serves on the Kaleo board and is instrumental in helping us do the work and furthering our mission. And we are also honored to have Mayor Heron joining us this year. So that is a little bit about Kaleo Collective. If I'm able to share my screen, I'm just going to show you some of those slides because I think it would be so great for you to see the faces of some of these moms that we help. And I just kind of want you to get to meet them, even though me and technology didn't allow me to kind of go back and forth. So am I able to share my screen now with you?
You're good to go. Yeah.
Okay. And then also, of course, if you guys have any questions, I would love to take them. Okay, so let me just quickly, I've already warned you guys, I'm not great with technology, so you just bear with me a quick second while I get this. I actually thought that I had that ready to go. Is that funny? Ta-da! Can you guys see this now?
Yeah, nicely done.
Okay, let me just switch back to the beginning here. Okay, so we are Kaleo Collective, and we help single moms thrive together. So here's one of our beautiful moms and her three little ones. And, you know, we've talked about our vision and our mission, but we really want to create those healthy, sustainable families and to break some of those cycles. Really, really important to us. And here is a group of us at Simone and Ivy, a beautiful business here in St. Albert. We just absolutely love this. And so this is the owner, Leanne, and she had us come one night. And so here's a group of moms, and we did a little floral activity. It was so fun. And it is kind of funny because these moms, all of the moms of Kaleo have dubbed me the mom of the moms. So some of them are older than me, many of them are younger than me, and it doesn't matter. They all call me mom, because I love them so fiercely. So here's a couple more of our moms. This is Linnea. This is Linnea and her little ones, Rylan and Grayson. And then this is Angela and her little girls, Sienna and Chloe. And we actually have at our fundraising event, both of these moms have little ones who are going to be kid co-hosts with Danny Hooper. So we're hoping to keep Danny on his toes that night with some of our kids, which I just think will be so fun. And here's a couple more of our moms and their little ones and just some testimonials about what this group has meant to them. And then here we've talked about these statistics coming from our program that 95% demonstrate an increase in self-esteem, which I just think is just so incredible. When you can help a woman feel better about herself, and when she's full of all that good stuff, that just pours out so naturally into her families, which is what we're after. And you know, 160,000 children in Alberta are the products of poverty. And that's a staggering statistic. And you know, there has been, as this slide will share, there has been some progress made in this area. The only problem is the progress is not appearing to affect children in single parent households. So we work really hard to sort of break those cycles of poverty. And here are those ways to help. So you can become a donor, follow us on social media, leave a Facebook review, share a post, sign up for our newsletter, come and check out our website, kaleocollective.ca. There's a place to sign up for our newsletter so you can be in the know of all the things going on. And yeah, here's some other really practical ways you can help. And lastly, One Starry Night hosted by Danny Hooper. So that is Kaleo Collective. Thank you so much for letting me share my heart and passion for this and for the work that we're doing in the community. And if you have any questions, I would love to take them.
Thank you so much, Layna. Appreciate you sharing your personal story and for the work that you do with the Kaleo Collective and for your passion. I mean, it just jumps off the screen. Questions for Layna? Andre.
Just what are the tickets for the event? How much are your tickets for your event?
The tickets are $100, and you can have that one of two ways. So the $100, you can either choose to have the charcuterie delivered to you with we have a beautiful little package that shows up at your door with florals from Simone and Ivy. So you can have and charcuterie delivered. Also, if you prefer, it's $100 and then you get a tax receipt, no charcuterie delivery. So there's that option there. Thank you.
Kathy.
Layna, it's Kathy. Couple questions. When I was every ceremony,
You're breaking up a little bit there, Kathy.
the Habitat Project still, I'll blame it on John. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, start over.
Okay. I was just saying, I noticed when I went to a lot of the key turning ceremonies at the Habitat Project in Aikinsdale, there was a lot of single dads receiving keys. So, Layna, I'm just wondering if you know of similar type services for single dads. That's one question. And my other question is, you and I in the past about city funding. I'm just wondering how your approach to getting some of our FCSS funding is going.
Okay, two good ones. Okay, so right now the programming for single dads, there is definitely a gap in services there. There is not a lot for single dads out there. And we have been approached to help single dads. And actually in our pilot project, when we did the single mom resource course as a pilot, there was one single dad that asked if he could participate and we said yes. And he was fantastic. We all really liked him. It was a great, really good dynamic. However, when I did the survey at the end of the class, a number of women said, while he was fantastic, it changes the dynamic. Being a single parent is different than being a single mom. And so based on that feedback, we decided to sort of narrow up our focus to just single moms for right now. But and actually Lynn King has been working on some CRA documents with me. We are trying to make our wording with CRA fairly broad so that if we did want to move into helping single dads at some point that we were able to, because we recognize that any conversation that has to do with women and women's rights and equality and all of that must include men. And also if we're trying to help change the lives of these children, then of course, these children, almost all of them have a father that is either in the picture or maybe sometimes not. But so it is something that we think that at some point we would like to address. Right now, we're just trying to figure out how to serve those single moms really, really well so that we can hopefully one day expand there. So that's the first question. Second question, FCSS funding is not going very well for us. I had a conversation again this year and was told not to apply, that we would be deemed as an overlapping service with the Family Resource Center, and an application would be futile. So not going very well with the city of St. Albert.
Jackie, you have a question.
Thank you. Yeah, it's too bad about the FCSS funding. We'll put our heads together on that maybe. I'm wondering, Layna, if you guys take donations of women's work clothes and whether you whether there's a donation like that that can be made for people who might who have grown out of perhaps their clothes.
Right. Okay. So we actually don't take any personal goods right now. And the reason for that, Jackie, great question, is that I operate everything out of my home. So we actually don't have a physical space. So trying to take in donations right now presented a problem because it was all coming to my home. And because we're not meeting face to face, our programming is currently being delivered all online. It's really hard to try and get those goods. So what we encourage people to do is to donate them to Dress for Success in Edmonton, or other goods. We say send them to Losica or to those thrift stores, and then we encourage our moms to shop there just because they're really equipped.
Great, thank you.
Last question for Layna. Seeing none, thank you again, Layna. And as thanks to you for your presentation this morning, we will be making a donation in your name to the Rotary International Polio Plus program, a worldwide program focused on polio eradication. And thank you for coming to our fireside chat.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for the work that you all do in our community. I mean, I am a St. Albert fangirl for life, and I don't think there's any better place to live. So I'm honored here, and honored to be here with you today, honored to live in this fantastic community. And, hopefully we get that center that I dream of, which I think will be a premier facility for single moms. And it's really interesting, actually, I didn't mention this, but we actually have single moms from all over the world contacting us right now, literally all over the world. So the fact that we're doing online programming means that some of those moms who live in time zones that coordinate with us are able to join us. So this tiny St. Albert charity is having somewhat of a global impact already. So onward and upward.
Well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Layna, for coming.
Thank you. Okay, I have to run, but see you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
And we have a new member induction this morning. So I'm going to hand it over to Ash, who's looking a little like God right now, to make the introduction. You're on mute, Ash. Still on mute. Ash, can you hear me? There you
Sorry,
are.
Mark.
That's
I
okay.
just realized I was muted. Let's start again. Chris, it's my pleasure to introduce Crystal Gossman. Crystal Gossman was born and raised in Edmonton and has been living in St. Albert since 2010. Crystal has a BA in psychology. Crystal was a director at E4C, where she oversaw programs related to homelessness and housing. Crystal left that position in 2013 to be a stay-at-home mom. She's a proud mother of 2 boys, ages 5 and 7. In 2019, Crystal began volunteering at St. Albert Food Bank, and she was shortly hired as a volunteer coordinator. Crystal also volunteers with Scout Canada as a group commissioner. She has recently taken up painting in her spare time, and Crystal and her family are avid campers. Please join me in welcoming Crystal Gossman to the Rotary Club.
Thank you, Ash. Thank you, everyone. Very excited to be a part of this group. Watching you guys in your Friday morning meetings, you guys seem like such a great group of people, and it's fun, and I can't wait to get to know all you guys and for you guys to get to know me. So thank you.
So I believe that Anne is going to read the charge this morning. Are you on mute, Anne?
I am on mute.
There you go.
Okay, good morning.
Morning.
Crystal, you have been selected to be a member of the Rotary Club of St. Albert because we believe you to possess those qualities of character and leadership that fit you to be a Rotarian and to interpret the Rotary ideal of service to others. Rotary acknowledges no distinction of race, religion, nation, or political persuasion. All Rotarians are equal members of one fellowship, each expected to be loyal to their citizenship and faithful to their beliefs. Rotary offers rich rewards of fun, friendship, and fulfillment to those who offer their own friendship and service. It also provides a unique networking possibility, including the opportunity to visit any Rotary Club almost anywhere in the world. Service in the Rotary Club of St. Albert will sometimes mean raising funds for worthy causes and projects. It also means the giving of your time and personal efforts to help those who are in need. Your fellow members accept your assurance that you will serve diligently in your club, your vocation, your community, and in the cause of international understanding, goodwill, and peace. It will be your responsibility to interpret Rotary, its ideals, and its activities to others of your calling, and we encourage you to invite others to join the club. The community will know and judge Rotary by your expression of it. Crystal, we are delighted to welcome you to the membership of Rotary Club of St. Albert and to the Worldwide Fellowship of Rotary. President Mark and fellow Rotarians, I have the pleasure of presenting to you our newest Rotarian, Crystal Gossman.
Welcome, Crystal. I would at this point normally present you with a Rotary pin and then invite all of our club members to come up to the front and shake your hand and welcome. But we will do another clap and snap and welcome you to the Rotary Club of St. Albert's. We are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
So this will be on its way to you along with a pin and a package of information, and along with all of the virtual support from your fellow Rotarians. Some quick reports and announcements. We did have the fireside chats this past week. So shout out to Stacy and the membership committee for putting that together. Successful event. Well done. Thank you for that. Dave Pickering, you have an announcement this morning.
Sure. Good morning, all. Yeah, I have some great news. We're making some awesome progress on our Community Interact Club. There'll be more news in the next couple of weeks coming out, but I just wanted to plant the seed. If you have high school age students within your house or you know of any, just keep an eye out. There'll be some emails in the next next couple of weeks, and really excited to get the Community Interact Club up and running sooner rather than later there. So yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Andre, you have some words about Inclusion Alberta.
Sorry, Mark.
That's all right.
Phone was going off in the house. Trying to answer it before it woke up everybody. There it goes again. All right. I just basically had a meeting yesterday at Rotary Employment Partnership Project, and so kind of just stepping onto John's comments from his inspiration. You talk about people basically kind of feeling isolated and alone a little bit. You know, this is this group, people especially with developmental disabilities are feeling this extremely more so at this time than many other groups. But I have a couple things I just wanted to mention. First off, Stacy, I wanted to thank you for bringing up the Rotary Employment Partnership Project in the meeting with the fireside chat. I really appreciate that, and I think there was some interest there in terms of some of the new members looking at that. Secondly, I need some help, and the help is that we have a committee that is supposed to basically be represented of all the Rotary clubs around Edmonton and area. Our club has been well represented. Started with Ash and Jackie Heitzman, and as well, Bob McGinn is a part of that group, and I myself sit on that board. But if you're in chats with maybe other Rotary clubs, can you maybe direct or help direct them our way a little bit too, so that it's so that we had a real full board? We really would like to have a full committee on this in this space, and I think that would be great if we can kind of achieve that. Secondly, the other ask now is that many Rotarians, we also participate in other boards or other business groups and whatnot. If you can somehow get us a chance to basically come to speak about inclusive hiring, you know, at those levels and with those groups, that would be very much appreciated as well. I think we need to get the word out. The fact of the matter is, through COVID, the Rotary created jobs have been very limited, and we need to really push that up quite a bit. So I'm looking for help with the committee, looking for help in terms of presentations that we can make. And lastly, if there are employers out there that you know of that may be interested, you know, get them in. We can direct inclusion over to at least have a little bit of a session to talk about why inclusive hiring is important and how to benefit those employers. That's all I got, Mark. Thanks very much. And about the landlines, I want to get rid of it. Believe me.
I think Lynn's comment was the classic. Is it a rotary phone? That's perfect.
It may as well be.
Thank you, Andre. And anyone, if you have support for inclusion that you can offer, please reach out to Andre. We have a board meeting coming up on March 2nd. So if you have anything that you would like the board to have a look at, or if you'd like to attend, please let me know. Clothing sale, Sandra.
Oh yeah, just a reminder, if anybody's interested, we got a good uptake with the t-shirts. When I sent the email out, I had embedded a picture of what the artwork, what the t-shirt was going to look like. I think some of you had some difficulty seeing it. You just need to, I think there should be a little button that says, you know, download the image, but I can certainly send again the picture if you guys want to see what the t-shirt's like. But yeah, I'd like to get the order in another week. So feel free to let me know if you'd like some t-shirts or golf shirts. Thanks.
Thank you for leading that, Sandra. Wine tasting, Kim.
Hi, everybody. So I wanted to provide you a quick update on what's happening. So first, to sort of preface what I'm going to say, there have been a lot of questions lately about, you know, what is the purpose of this gathering? And so if you recall, in March, the last 2 years, we've had our St. Patty's Day sort of gala fundraiser. With COVID, it's been a challenge to have such a gala. So while this is not meant to be a replacement of it, that was you know, a big fundraiser and a big piece in making sure that we can do all the projects that we want to do in our community. So certainly we are hoping that everyone will embrace this the same as they would that gala. And if you remember, usually you'd have to bring 2 people to the gala. This is really for the tickets, looking at, you know, 1 ticket per family sort of thing. So in order to have the kind of reach we did for the gala, we do hope that Rotarians will do 2 things, that they will, you know, reach out to their friends and family, not just about the wine tickets, but also about the auction. So first of all, so far, we do have almost $15,000 raised for the process. And that means we've sold almost half the packages. So our barometer is rising. We expect to raise most of it at the auction, but we also do need to sell the rest of those tickets. So please let your friends and family know, send it out to other Rotarians, anybody that you can who will sell the tickets. And then just a reminder that the auction goes live on Monday. And so even if you don't buy a package and that's not something that you can do, please send out the auction link to your friends and family. And it's important to register for that so that we can make sure that we boost our auction outside of just the Rotarians and outside of just the people that are attending the actual wine tasting. And then also, you can donate. And so people who don't want to maybe do the wine tasting or take part in the auction, there is a direct link to our donation page. So you can just donate into our operations, or you can actually fund a project. So we've already had non-Rotarians invited, and we've raised, I believe, in the range of $2,200 from donations from non-Rotarians by clicking on the donate or the fund a project. So the three feature projects that we're funding are the international projects, the local community projects, and the music festival, which is coming up. So we have an opportunity to really showcase what Rotary's doing here. And I would ask that if you don't drink wine or you don't have friends and family, you can pass this on to, think about those people in the community that that you might have invited to previous galas, who might donate or help fund a project. Lastly, we do have a donor page for anyone who has donated more than, a sponsor page for anyone who's donated more than $500, then you will become a sponsor of the event. And then a donor page. So of course, you'll be recognized for anything that you donate. For the silent auction part of the project, we've already received about 58 items, and we're expecting to receive another 17 in the next couple weeks. We can put those up almost to the end date, which is March 12th, but of course, they will definitely be promoted better and have the opportunity to raise more money if we get them earlier. Plus, there's a big logistics component that happens in those last few days before the actual event. So we would ask that if you have something to donate, please get it to us by March 8th. That would be our deadline. And lastly, just a reminder that everything is tax deductible. So not everything, but each part that you donate, if you donate, that is tax deductible, or you will get a tax receipt from Laszlo. And if you buy the packages, there's a tax deductible component. So we really, really, really need everybody to help out with this. Craig is our incoming president. Mark is our president now, are very supportive of this project. This money goes into our operations for next year, and is very important for all the things that we want to do for the Rotary and all these things that we're very inspired about. And so please, if you haven't yet, buy tickets. If you don't like wine, think about it as a donation to the things that we do for the community. Send it out to your friends. I already have multiple people who have been helping me out, and let's raise that barometer up to 50,000. Thanks, everybody. I'll take questions if anybody has them.
I have a clarification question, Kim. Sure. I need a return to. Just that from the previous information that's been sent out, I didn't understand that the $150 was per household, I guess, or it's a package for two, I guess. Is that true?
Yes, it is. Yeah. So there's three packages you can buy, and those packages are similar to other sorts of things going on in the community, like our speaker talked about. So we have three packages: one that's $150, one that's $200, and one that's $250, with a variety of different combinations for those. And yes, it is for two people. So if you remember in the past, if you bought a ticket for our event, it would be, somewhere in the range of $150 per person. So if you're buying one ticket, we're really raising half as much as we would at an event where you'd have to kind of buy two for a couple, or buy a table and bring your friends. So we really, really are counting on all of you guys, and we know it's last minute. Everybody really rallies at the end, and that's fantastic. So we really need you guys to rally now and get rid of those the 60 extra wine packages that we have, if you can. Send out the invites for the auction. This is that push time, and then please register for the auction. Send out the auction link to your friends so that we can get people bidding on these items. There's some really great packages. I don't know if we have time, Mark. Are we running behind, or do we have time?
We are definitely running behind. Thank you.
Okay, I will shut up then, and just if you have any questions, fire them off to me by email.
Thank you, Kim. And it's very, very important. This is our major fundraiser for next year. So any activities that we do as a club, this is where the funds come from. So please participate. Any other announcements? Seeing none, our next morning meeting, March 5th, St. Albert's Mayor, Kathy Heron. It's going to be a great one. March is Water and Sanitation Month, Rotary International. Birthdays and anniversaries. Natalia, please.
Okay, so we have Fenton Roy. His birthday was on March, is going to be on March 1st, and we have Kiyaba Yuka on March 4th. And anniversaries, we have Darius Loker, 3 years, and February 27th, 2018. And also joined Rotary is Mike Keating for 27 years and on March 1st. Congratulations.
Congratulations to all. Thank you, Natalia. Sergeants at Arms.
I believe it's just the sergeant. I think John had to leave, if I'm not mistaken. That's okay. So we're going to do the 50-50 scavenger hunt. I know we're kind of running behind here. So Natalia, we have 14 players this event. So pick 2 numbers between 1 and 14, please.
12.
12, perfect. That's Kim Bergera. Okay, and another number, 1 through 14.
13.
13, all right, that's Myron. Okay, so the two of you, can you both hear me? Are they both there?
Yep, I'm here. I did so well last week. I get to redeem my.
You got picked again? Wow, lucky number.
Yeah, how come I'm up against an experienced lady?
Yeah.
I know. Okay.
I broke 2 knives last week trying to bend them into a grapefruit knife. So hopefully it won't be as challenging this week.
All right, perfect. So I had my daughter pick this. She wants a right running shoe, a right foot running shoe, not left.
Is that a running shoe?
Yeah, I run in it all the time around the house.
Oh, I can't see everything.
Oh, you can't? Oh, here.
No, there you go. Yeah, not a running shoe. Did you even try, Myron?
Well, I thought I'd have a little fun. I want to give Kim a chance.
Fair enough. Kim, are you back yet?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, there you go. There's a right running.
Oh, okay. That's, yeah.
There you go. Perfect.
There you go, Kim.
Kim Bergera. And because that got pushed over from last week, the big winner of Kim, let me get to my screen, is $70.
Wow. Dude,
there you go, Kim, $70.
Wow.
And maybe you can push it forward to the gala.
Yeah, I might have to buy another ticket.
There you go. Okay, I know, John, that just everyone, the fines are piling up. So just next week, we're going to have to give John maybe 7 minutes there, Mark.
Yeah, we'll carve out much more time.
Yeah, I think they're going to be quite extensive. So everyone come prepared. All right, that's it for me. You guys have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, Mark. Remember, we are on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and these meetings are posted on YouTube, and we will circulate that link around. So thank you to our guest speaker, Layna. Welcome, Crystal, as our new member. Thank you to John Carl for the inspirational moments, to Mark for Sergeant at Arms, to Natalia. And if you need support, we have members in our club who need support. So thank you to those of you who are reaching out to others behind the scenes. Very, very important. Lynn King is our caring coordinator. There are many online resources, but now is the time to look out for one another, as that is the new normal. Please join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair
to all concerned?
Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial
to all concerned?
Will it be
Will it be
fun?
fun?
And happy sweet 116, Rotary. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Have a great end of your week. Have a wonderful weekend.
Enjoy the sunshine.
Yes.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Okay, bye now.